This month we're looking at how August played out across Chicago, and I'll be talking directly to you sellers and buyers out there. Yes, you. So stay tuned. Welcome to another local market update with Rick Batista. Welcome to another monthly market update. I don't know about you, but I love this time of year in Chicago. Within the same week, you go from open windows to running the AC to having the heat kick in some nights. Bring it on fall. This month, we're going to see how well Chicago's housing market did in August, and we're talking expireds, FSBOs, for sale by owners, and frustrated buyers. You know, with so many things going on with the economy right now, as well as in and around housing, I'm committed to bringing you both weekly and monthly market updates because once a month just doesn't cut it. And I've got to confess something. I do find myself scratching my head about this market, and I know what's going on. So if I'm confused here and there, I can only imagine how you must feel. My commitment is to help you understand what your options are and how to make sense of it all. Before we get started, I want to let you know that this video discusses both national and local data. The local data we'll share in just a bit is for Chicago proper, the 77 areas, and although we do service all the Chicagoland, including the Burbs, later in this video, we're only going to dive into the city's data. And away we go! Fun facts, market time! Higher mortgage rates along with elevated sales prices and a lack of housing inventory have continued to impact market activity during the summer home buying season. The average 30-year fixed mortgage rate has remained above 6.5% since May, recently hitting a two-decade high in August, according to Freddie Mac. As a result, existing home sales have continued to slow nationwide, dropping 2.2% month over month as of last measure, with sales down 16.6% compared to the same time last year, according to the National Association of Realtors, also known as NAR, as we may reference them again in the video. New listings in the city of Chicago were down 19.7% for detached homes and 17.3% for attached properties. Listings under contract increased 0.7% for detached homes, but increased 6.1% for attached properties. The median sales price was up 1.6% to $315,000 for detached homes and 8.6% to $347,500 for attached properties. Month supply of inventory decreased 8.7% for detached units and 5.5% for attached units. Falling home sales have done little to cool home prices, however, which have continued to sit at record high levels nationally thanks to a limited supply of homes for sale. According to NAR, there were 1.11 million homes for sale heading into August, 14.6% fewer homes than the same period last year for a 3.3-month supply at the current sales pace. The shortage of homes for sale has boosted competition for available properties and is driving sales prices higher, with NAR reporting a national median existing home price of $406,700, a 1.9% increase from a year earlier. Mortgage applications fell to their lowest level since 1996, with total mortgage applications dropping 0.8% from the previous week, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association, as higher mortgage interest rates continue to take their toll on market participants. Applications to purchase a home were 27% lower than the same week a year ago, while demand for refinances were down 31% compared to the same week last year. Moving right along, I'm actually not going to be showing as many charts as I typically do. If you're a loyal viewer, you're probably having a flashback to that moment of joy equal to seeing a substitute teacher walk into the classroom. If you're new to this channel or haven't yet, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can stay on top of this very interesting market with us. We will be discussing expired listings and FSBOs and consoling many of you frustrated buyers out there. The struggle is real. But first, let me bring up this chart with data from Realtor.com comparing active and new listings. The blue bars reflect active listings. The green bars are new listings. As you can see, new listings surpassed active ones for 4 straight months last year in 2022 from February through May. You remember what happened last May? We all found ourselves with a brick in our underpants when mortgage rates just about doubled. Since then, including last month in August, new inventory simply hasn't caught up to the active listing count. As we've covered in a recent video, there are multiple components impacting our low inventory market right now, an issue that has been years in the making. Households are staying put longer, so there aren't as many homes turning over as quickly as they have been in the past. Although builders are now starting to pour more foundations in many parts of the country, we have a long way to go to keep up with the demand and need. Sellers with low mortgage rates are hesitant to sell and buy, going into a much higher rate. With that said, some sellers are still selling because life has changed for them, and even with higher rates, it still makes sense for their household needs. And those are just a few of the factors we're facing. One thing I can promise you, there are still plenty of buyers looking to buy. Why? Many have accepted that we are in the new norm when it comes to mortgage rates. For many, it makes financial sense to buy versus rent. People are tired of paying their landlord's mortgage, building someone else's equity, and or helping grow someone else's generational wealth. And as in Chicagoland and many places across the U.S., rents have gone up and up, partially thanks to the wackiness of the sales market during the last few years, to the point that many can actually have a lower mortgage payment versus their current monthly rent. With a market that seems to be slowing down, it has to do more with inventory than mortgage rates. With that said, although we do have inventory, we're not seeing as much new inventory hit the market. Of those sitting on the market, why aren't some properties selling? There are plenty of reasons. Each property certainly has its own story to tell, but as a result of longer market times, we're seeing listings expire again, as they tend to do in a more normal market. Something we haven't really seen much over the last few years. But I'll get back to expired listings in just a moment. To piggyback on the subject of expired listings, let's look at this chart from data from the National Association of Realtors. The percentage of homes selling as a FSBO, for sale by owner, increased to 10% in 2022 from 7% in 2021. That's the highest it's been since 2011. Why? There are several, even many reasons, but I'm sure these are probably the top reasons. First thing that comes to mind, many of you feel in a market with low inventory, you believe you can do it on your own and save on paying out a commission. That's certainly a fair thought, especially if every penny of equity or profit is precious for your future needs and goals. And secondly, some of you FSBOs may have been active on the MLS and your property didn't sell. Out of frustration, you said, I'm going to give it the old college try. You FSBOs out there, I'm not going to tell you you can't do it on your own. I'm not even going to share with you stats that sellers who list with a realtor sell for more money than what you can sell for it on your own, because each situation is different. I will tell you that if you're prepared to ride the emotional roller coaster on your own, please buy a ticket, get in line, and buckle up. But if you believe you can't put a price tag on peace of mind, let me share with you some of the benefits of working with a realtor. We help with all the disclosures and contracts necessary in today's heavily regulated environment. We are well-versed in real estate and experienced with the entire sales process. We act as a buffer in negotiations with all parties throughout the entire transaction. We simply and effectively explain today's market conditions and decipher what they mean to you. We help you understand today's real estate values when setting the price of a listing or making an offer to purchase. And those are just 5 reasons. I promise you, there are many more. The most important one, I feel, is that we help remove the emotions from all the decisions that have to be made from start to finish and well beyond the moment keys are exchanged. You FSBOs out there, I'm not going to lie to you. Can you get it done on your own? Certainly, no doubt about it. It might happen for you right away, depending on your location, asking price, market knowledge, marketing efforts, etc., etc., etc. And it might happen eventually. And sometimes it might not happen until you work with a knowledgeable realtor to get you across the finish line. But please, please, please be honest with yourself. If you're not a market expert, if you're uncertain how to price your property, if you don't have the right experience and tools to negotiate, at least consider working with a realtor. You can call me and I'll be happy to have a conversation with you to provide some guidance and or share with you the benefits of working with a real estate professional when it comes to your specific situation. Funny story, when I was a kid, I would see my grandma sew. It looked easy enough. Take the thread, wet the tip, close an eye, and get the thread through the eye of the needle. And so, voila. One day I had a pair of underwear that had a hole in it. Don't ask, those things happen. Kids, right? I decided to get into her sewing kit and do it all by myself. You know what the end result was? My Fruit of the Looms ended up looking like something that walked out of Dr. Frankenstein's lab. My grandma supported me every step of the way, and even though I gave it my best effort, I gladly welcomed her help to patch it up the right way. Now let me point out the obvious. Tidy whities with an unwelcome hole in them certainly don't have the same ramifications of a real estate transaction. But the moral of this story? There's a world of emotions and money involved in and around real estate. If you know what you're doing, please do you. If you don't, please ask for help. I'd love to have a conversation to see how I can help you. Owners of an expired listing or a listing that's about to expire, I didn't forget about you. If your current realtor isn't doing it for you, don't feel bad. Sometimes things just don't work out. I know you may find your phone ringing off the hook with realtors dialing for dollars trying to get your business. If you feel comfortable with one of them, work with them. At least have a conversation and see where things go. If no one is speaking your love language, please reach out to me. I specialize in figuring out why your property didn't sell and get it sold. Buyers and renters looking to be buyers. If you were in the thick of it within the last couple of few years, I'm sorry. I had a support group and we meet on Thursdays. It's been rough, right? It still is. We went from new house on the market, I need it now, to where's all the inventory? We need more inventory, plain and simple. If you've been doing it on your own or you've been working with a realtor who you feel hasn't been able to negotiate on your behalf with the market knowledge and experience needed to represent you and your needs, please reach out. I love to negotiate and have a full understanding of the chessboard. Before we even get to that stage, I need to find out your needs, goals, desires, expectations, and short and long-term plans. Reach out. I'm here for you. Whether you're the seller of an expired listing, a frustrated FSBO, a buyer who got banged up and bruised over the last couple of years and re-entered the rental pool, and or find yourself in that situation now. Real estate is very much like love and relationships. Even if you never want to fall in love again, if you're convinced in a moment that you can't trust anyone because they aren't as loyal as you or committed to the relationship as you are, if you feel people are just there to gladly take from you or even take advantage of you, guess what? No matter how many times it's been broken, your heart finds itself wanting love again and again. That seems to be the natural order of this life, right? Don't give up. Bottom line, just as we are social creatures and have the need for human interaction, another fundamental and basic need in life is housing. Whether you've had a bad experience with a realtor selling your home, if you're recovering from the PTSD of becoming a buyer, if you can't stand dealing with a million calls every time you put that for sale by owner sign up, guess what? Consider yourself lucky having to deal with your need for housing. You'll either need to sell one or move into one. That's a fact of life. So don't give up. Find the right person to work with. The person you feel comfortable is going to represent you and your needs. Let me take care of your housing needs so you can focus on making your house a home. Whether it's weeks, months, or even years from now, I'll be here to help you. And before we cover the city's data, I want to share these announcements with you. Although I'm here in the Chicagoland area, I'm part of an amazing network of awesome realtors. If you're watching or listening to this from another state or even country, there's a really good chance I've got an excellent agent to connect you with, someone who'll take good care of you. Later this week, we'll be coming out with some more videos discussing hyperlocal data covering some of the areas and neighborhoods throughout Chicago. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel. And if there's an area you'd like more data on that we're not covering, send us a message and we can get that info over to you. And this week, we're coming out with our fall guides for sellers and buyers and first-time home buyers. There's a ton of information in these guides to help you understand today's market. And that's just the start. Let's talk so we can provide even more insight and guidance to help you with your next move. Now it's time to wake up for the moment you've been waiting for. This information and data is provided by the Chicago Association of Realtors covering the month of August and is current as of September 14th. First, we're taking a look at the Lender-Mediated Report. And this is a report that looks at properties on the MLS that were foreclosed, REO, pre-foreclosure, short sale, essentially bank-owned or soon-to-be bank-owned properties. And this is a piece of data that we've been monitoring for several months now. Certainly hasn't been a major concern, although a lot of headlines might say foreclosures are coming, huge wave of foreclosures, et cetera, et cetera. We've covered this extensively in videos, and certainly foreclosures is not a fun part of life. And not a fun part of the housing market, but it's a reality. So 2.6% is what we saw in August. That has been pretty much in line with what we've been seeing the last several months. And again, not something that hasn't gotten out of hand so far in today's market. I'm not expecting it to. Obviously can't predict the future, but certainly not an expectation for most of the experts out there, including myself. We're going to be taking a look at residential activity only, and although these reports cover both detached and attached properties, attached being condos and townhomes, we're just talking about detached properties right now. In August of 2023, for all residential properties, change in new listings down by 18.3%, closed sales down by 6.3%, and inventory of homes down by 29.8%. We need more inventory. In this next segment here, we'll be taking a look at the last two Augusts, August 2023, comparing it to August 2022, and comparing year to date. So through August 2023 and through August of 2022, so looking at the same time frame from this year and last year. First up, new listings. We finished the month of August with 1,544 detached single-family homes, down by 19.7% comparing to August of 2022. For year to date, 11,518, down by 18.1% year over year. Closed sales, 868, down by 3.4%, looking at both August, and 5,912, down by 20.9% year over year. For under contract, we wrapped up the month of August with 824 single-family detached homes, up by 0.7% compared to the August prior, and year to date, 6,409. A little bit down, nearly 14% year over year. Median sales price, I know we talked about this in a few of our videos recently. A little hard to gauge the housing market by looking at the median sales price, but it's on the report. We're going to take a look at it, and we'll also compare it to the average sales price in just a moment. Wrapped up the month of August with a $315,000 median sales price, up by 1.6% compared to the previous August, and $305K year to date, down by 6.2% comparing year over year. Average sales price now, let's see how that looks compared to median sales price, $454,640, down by 6.9%, and we're looking at the August prior. And year to date, $445,156, down by 9% year over year. And please know and realize that that is the average sales price across Chicago for single-family detached homes, and that's Chicago proper, all 77 areas. Certainly not the average sales price, may not be the average sales price, I should say, for a single-family home in your area or neighborhood. Average list price, I like to take a look at this because it really helps me determine where the kind of the mindset is for helping sellers determine their price, but kind of helps me determine what a seller's mindset is out there. Kind of that confidence going into the market or hitting the market. Looking at August of this year, just last month, average list price was $487,811 for an attached single-family home across Chicago, up by 12%. Keep in mind, last August, we were coming off that low when the rates went up, so a little banged up there last year. People were a little bit of a sticker shock, situation going on when rates just about doubled. And looking year to date, the average list price $513,191, up by 3.2% year over year. Percent of original list price received. I think this number really helps determine how hot our market is. And across Chicago, I think this is still a very respectable number, 97.5%, which is the exact same thing we saw in August 2022, so no change there. 97.1% year to date, a little bit down compared to 2022's year to date number, down by 1.5%. But still, I think that's a pretty good indication that people are still willing to move to and or within Chicago. Market time helps us determine how hot the market is. If a property is marketed right and is priced right, more importantly, even in today's market, it's probably going to sell quickly. A little longer than we've seen in the last couple of years with the craziness of the pandemic market. But for August 2023, the average days on market, 54 days, compared to 41 that we saw in August of 2022, up by 33.1%. And year to date, we were at 70, up by 39.2% year over year. So a little bit of an ouch there. Inventory of homes for sale. We wrapped up the month of August with 2,258 single-family detached homes, down by 27.1% compared to the August prior. We need more inventory. So, what does all this information mean for you? Heck if I know. All depends on what's going on in your life and your household. Let's start a conversation and see how we can help you make the most informed decisions. If you'd like copies of any reports or slides we shared with you today, feel free to reach out. You can call, text, or email. My contact info is below. And remember, love and money may come and go, but time is something we never get back, so I thank and appreciate you for sharing some of your time with me today. If you want to stay on top of the market with us, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you have one person who you believe would benefit from this info, then be sure to share it with them. As always, take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll catch you next time.